says is about a person who goes by Feghost, who has been on this platform under that name since 2016.
Feghost had 19.3 thousand subscribers? Damn.
A lot of you probably know them from their own videos or appearing around our mutuals online, but...
What do you mean, oh god, no? You gonna listen to the Feghost Senate call? Yes. Yes, I will, and I'm excited for it.
In case you don't know, Feghost is a content creator who's been around for a while and established an online presence as well as a lot of connections, which, quite frankly, is extremely worrying to me. If you're able, I ask that you please bear through everything I'm going to get into, as you'll see this very quickly outgrows the scope of someone just being a bad friend. Obviously, in addition to my own testimony, I'm going to be showing whatever evidence I can of what I'm talking about.
We love some evidence. Feghost got that many followers because she was well known for doing meme edits of animation memes. I talked to Feghost once when I was like 13, 14 in the Name Junkie Discord. Littlebits, you have been around for way too long in there, I swear to God.
Obviously, since some of this stuff happened in VCs, I cannot show literally everything that's happened, but I will be showing all the evidence that I have.
I understand if you only choose to believe what I can prove with screenshots.
I know some people aren't always looking at the videos they have on, so I'm going to be playing this sound effect whenever I put something on screen. So with that...
And thank you very much, Mr. Gamer. Love to hear that.
I'm just going to get into everything, basically. I want to preface by saying that I know that Feghost is a person who needs serious help, not from us, but professional mental help. And I understand the possible problematic implications of warning people to stay away from someone very clearly suffering from mental health issues, because I agree in terms of principle that someone suffering from mental illness is not something to be ashamed of or a reason to shun. I would never cut off a friend because of that, and I would have a lot of the friends that I do now if that were the case. However, I've had to learn that letting someone use their mental illness to hurt others and or guilt forgiveness is wrong, especially when the person shows no willingness to change for the better. And one of the long-standing issues that's been causing so many problems is not only their absolute refusal to seek out professional help, but...
Oh, wait. Is something wrong that's making you feel uncomfortable? I don't know. I just have a feeling that I'm not gonna be alive for long. Well, shit. Why? I feel like either I'm gonna die by my own hand or someone else is gonna do it. Do you have a therapist that you can contact? Wow.
help, but their extreme unwillingness...
No. Maybe see if you can find one or talk to your family. Is therapy expensive in Canada? Even your general doctor can help. Yeah, it was like 120 for my last visit.
Any of the work that they
To your general doctor or therapist? My therapist.
can without their...
Well, I can give you the money if you need it, but your general family doctor might also be a good option. I'm not seeing a therapist, but I've gone to my general family doctor about certain mental health issues.
therapy or...
Do you have a psychiatrist? No. Obviously, they can't cover it to the same extent, but talking to someone might help. Maybe I feel like a lot of this won't even be worth the effort, cause last time I got better, I dipped down again. Boo fucking who.
or the help of a psychiatrist. Some of my friends have expressed a worry about how they'll react to me coming forward because they have a tendency to react to things.
I had this feeling, but then I started taking some pills instead of a pity party. Sometimes you just need the good stuff. I'm noticing that every cancelled ACC YouTuber is literally just a different flavor of creepshow art. Why would you say something so controversial yet so true, Beetle?
Very destructively.
Yeah, that pretty much just sounded like, oh, my life is so bad. Everything sucks. I'm gonna kill myself. Or I will be killed, you know? It's okay to have a bad day, but if you have a friend that comes to you with shit like that always, you become numb to it.
I'll be honest, I have my own worries about
At this point, you're just like, jump.
too, but
Don't make it my problem. Do a backflip.
personally, I'm done catering to this man instead of the people that they've hurt.
Hell
I've been
yeah.
doing that for almost 3 years now, and in that time I've grown up a lot, especially this year, and this is me making the decision to finally say enough. I wanted to get this out a lot sooner than I am, but if I'm just being 100%, writing this script and having to relive everything in such detail has been one of the most difficult things I've done recently.
I try to maintain a fairly calm demeanor in all of my videos, but there are parts of this video that I am extremely upset reliving much of the treatment my friend and I were subjected to. I apologize in advance.
I want to start off by talking about how things were before they got really bad, to show that it already wasn't great, and also to show some patterns that we'll see continue on so you can know how long some of this stuff has lasted. Firstly,
something I really noticed, many of these people just take it for way too long. Like, it's fine, you know, at first you're like, they're my friend, they're having a bad time. But come on, if it goes over and over again all the time and they don't seek help, then you can fix them, you ain't Bob the Builder.
One of the biggest issues I've come to realize is that Feghost has an extremely hard time respecting the boundaries that other people place. Problems really started to arise in early 2019. Allow me to preface this by saying that Feghost, at the time and until very recently, was friends with me and my friend Kylie, otherwise known as Clown Teeth, and who previously was known as
Clown Teeth,
as Icy Hazard. And
why do they change their names so much?
A lot of the stories I'm going to tell revolve around our experiences with Feghost and how they have treated us. So, early 2019, Kylie was dealing with a very traumatic, long-lasting, and difficult to manage situation regarding romantic relationships. I'm not going to get into specifics of what she was dealing with because that's
okay.
Her story to tell, but Kylie asked me and Feghost to help with the situation and reaching a resolution with some of the people involved in her situation. However, over the course of planning things and making the necessary connections, Feghost had several moments that made us think he was not a good candidate for being a mediator in anything. The straw that broke the camel's back was
probably someone who has very little dating experience is bad as a mediator in a dating situation. I'm shooketh.
Is when Feghost would not let up on an argument with me in a group chat regarding whether or not it was okay to spread rumors about someone being into incest of child characters in meme form. I was of the opinion that it wasn't, and they thought it was perfectly fine and harmless. After arguing an obnoxiously long time and
I remember when this guy existed, then he randomly left.
not getting anywhere, I cut the argument off for the day and the group chat was deleted, but Feghost decided to start things
doesn't negate the fact that it was a big enough deal for... okay, it's censored. Doesn't negate the fact that already recognized the disclaimers weren't doing much. It was a big enough deal for to want to confront her. It wasn't that damaging to the point where she needed to delete things. Except that it was spreading a rumor and people believed her. It's just irresponsible to instantly meme things like does. And on that note, took action on his behalf. And from what I've seen, it has only been bothered by the fact that his ex was involved, not with Alright, where can I see that? I can't say for sure, but he hasn't replied to reply to his YouTube comment. That's a reach then. He was obviously bothered enough to comment in the first place. True, but there's also the fact that the video is still up and didn't demand it to be taken down. If it was actually that bad, I'm fairly certain would be the type to confront directly about it and have a conversation. But we don't know if he did or didn't. And stop trying to use this, didn't get super mad, so you shouldn't either defense. Since one, I got mad at for being a human shit on Twitter. And second, you yourself denoted that you've become desensitized to people making horrible claims about you. So does this mean people shouldn't do it? No. I was trying to use that as an example, as there's worse things that people can be accused of. Listen. There are worse things you can be accused of. You could be accused of murder. Liking incest of a cartoon character isn't that big of a deal when you look at the ocean of accusations out there. And even then, it's mentioned in jest. The vast majority of people will pick up on that.
Things back up and again in my DMs the next morning, and when the same thing was happening, I told them to stop or I was going to block them. They didn't, and so I did. So Feghost went to Kylie.
Oh, so I guess I'm out of the conversation. Great. Y'all just need to chill for fuck's sake. I'm done with this shit. I'm down to be chill. It's just that it's an argument instead of a conversation. I'd be fine if Delulu didn't get all in your face about it and block me. Like, if she's white, she's white. But it's an argument based on morals. And they're subjective. Plus, there's a bunch of unknowns in the situation. Fake. I said it's done. Stop. No. You know, if you have the last word in an argument, you win.
And ejected themselves from helping her simply because I reinforced the boundary that I set pretty clear.
But hier müsste ich aber true chat would actually say. Beatles, no!
And then tried to spin it in a way that made it sound like I was down their throat in the situation when you can see I was
I was trying to use it as an example. As there's worse things that people can be... Okay, like, that's a horrible defense. There are worse things out there, and even though some will believe, it won't most won't.
When challenging ideas as awful as the reckless libel is okay because there's worse accusations that could have been made.
Guys, oh god, I remember there was one guy who was like, you know, there are worse things to be accused. There, what was it? It's not the worst thing that happened, you know, just because you abused someone. Think of the Holocaust.
And I wasn't even the one who said...
Okay, didn't really appreciate you calling me stupid and retarded. I would guess with the R. And all that when I was pretty clear I wasn't dropping any kind of insults. I didn't call you that. I called you stupid for thinking calling someone stupid and saying someone's into incest were comparable. I think you called me retarded once, but I don't have any evidence or screenshot to back that up, so... But that's beside the point. I'm not good at arguing with people. I think I should be pretty clear right now, then stop arguing with people. Yep.
Started up the debate again, but fine. After having to be told by Kylie to drop it, because I guess me reinforcing my boundaries twice wasn't enough, they'd...
Hi, that's alright. What did I walk into here? What? Hello? Hello, we're digging up old corpses again. We're summoning the ghost of Drama's past. And today we talk about Feghost. Which is a dangerous name for me to say.
Decided that they wanted...
But to be fair, I have the green card. I can do it.
Back in.
Even if it sounds wrong.
They decided that they were complicating things too much with their rash decision making and wanted to cut off their involvement, which Feghost continued to...
Hey, what's the word on the talk? It's really not a concern for ya. Why? Since you aren't really involved with it now. Well, I was, until I was kind of ejected from it because of majority rules. Imagine people are like, yeah, we don't want you in this conversation, and then you're just like, hey, so how's this conversation going? Bro, it has nothing to do with you. Well, it has. I was there until you all decided I shouldn't.
Push even after, which understandably frustrated Kylie.
Oop. I'm an old lady. Keeps it on the thing a little longer. Bruh.
This wasn't even the first time that Feghost had specifically
Who gave you a green card? My gayness.
Pushed a boundary regarding being asked not to get involved with a situation. There was another situation in March of the same year involving a lot of Kylie's friends that needed to be handled quickly because it was getting out of hand and a bunch of people...
That's right, Pimenta. Better stay quiet and let people think you're stupid than to open your mouth and confirm their suspicion. See? No, don't say Beetlejuice. Okay, Feghost 3 times. Feghost.
Were getting involved, not even knowing what was happening. And people were threatening to take...
So some cheeky little shit has been pulling exactly what this time on a friend of mine. 1. Claim they hate drama, yet cause drama. Many such cases. 2. Claim they are not spiteful, but goes out of their way to shit talk about friend to their other friends. Also many such cases. 3. Twist context about friend around to try to look morally superior. 4. Uses excuses while they are so mean and shitty to people. 5. Uses goons to harass friend. 6. Friend cannot publicly vent without the goons attacking them because they assume any vent is about said shit. Too respectfully, it sounds like you're saying a different word when you say Feghost. God damn it. 7. Acts like a victim whenever friends' followers call the shit out. 8. The shit and the goons have the audacity to hold past mistakes that have been resolved over the friend's head. After seeing all that go down, all I gotta say is, that's it, I'm getting me mullet. If any of them try to harass my friend again over this or anything else, I won't hesitate to call them out. I swear on me mom.
Very minute squabbles, public. And she asked me to be there just...
Hey boy, I see once pull you in the call. I'll be the moderator in there. I'm not really in a stable mindset right now. Maybe in a few minutes? Alright, give yourself a few minutes to get into one. Because she really wants to talk about things right now, and I think it would be best it was handled right now. I know, Delulu, just give me a bit. Aight. Okay, let me in.
while she tried to contain the situation, and I don't know what it is with this hero complex stuff.
The goon is over 9,000!
But Feghost decided that...
But what do you want me to do, You don't have to do anything, I just want you to be okay. Of course. Jesus Christ, stop. Stop with this, I'm trying to fix things. KKKKK, nobody wants to talk to me. Cry harder. I don't know.
This situation that had nothing to do with them was actually all about them, and really just...
Feghost, I'm sorry. I'm seriously in the middle of drama storm, trying to clear misinformation and so many things. And I can't be involved at all. If you want me to get you into this call, I can, but this part right now is hard. I think it's beyond that point. Beyond? I spent this entire night doing nothing, and now I'm tired. Pretty sure it's not worth it to get me in, because what does it matter now? If I'm just gonna be clueless for the rest of the call, then stop crying about it. Jesus.
So that nobody can...
Are we talking hired goons or goonera? Gooneras. The hired goons. Wait, is it Fagos, not Feghost? No, it's Feghost. Feghost. You know what I mean?
Cared about them because they weren't invited to help contain the situation, and looking back, honestly...
I talked to, but I'm pretty sure she hates me now, so lol. Jesus. I was having an experience just there being completely alone. It was just text, and I couldn't read anything on my monitor. Fun. I really wanted someone to talk to, but well, I'm not that good at mediating. Feghost, I'm sorry. Things just keep piling up. There's anything you need me to do? I don't know, but I'm gonna go and sleep this horrible fucking night off. Good night.
Displayed some of the most guilt-trippy behavior I've ever seen. Even during the time of this later situation, I even tried to help.
But whether it was intended or not does not negate the fact that you did, in fact, manipulate things in a way that put you in a sympathetic light. The action of manipulating someone in a clever or unscrupulous way. That literally does not mention intent. Those are two definitions of manipulation. Oh wow, we got the definitions out. Woo, let's go. Okay, and I've never tried to cleverly manipulate facts or anything. Just because you do it in a retarded way doesn't mean you don't do it. Or try it. And yet you did. I can't keep track of shit like you do, okay? Okay, and I don't have time to keep a logbook of screenshots or constantly fact-check myself. If that's the case, then you need to be smarter about what you say. Because it can be very manipulative, like it was with you. Snoof, they won't talk to me. Exactly, this is what it feels like.
Help Feghost realize some of the manipulative behavior they were displaying that was making things really difficult to push through. And of course
That's okay. I'm not a manipulative person. Maybe not intentionally, but at times you have been. Maybe with the way you see it, but intent has a large factor in actually manipulating people. I've never had more intent with my conversations with Icy. Most manipulators don't try to be manipulative, believe it or not. What? Manipulation and malintent isn't for the forefront of their mind. Stop fucking with me. Bruh.
That didn't go well because
It's Feghost. Feghost? Whose video are you watching now? Chuulis.
because Feghost was so obsessed with their intentions while completely ignoring the actual effect that they were having on a thing that was supposed to be helping.
Bruh. Seriously, I need to stop with this outlogicing stuff. Like, I'm not trying to do anything bad to IC. I know that, but I'm calling what you did what it is. And you always put fact in front of shit that I'm trying to do right. I'm literally giving you the chance to recognize that behavior and fix it. I've been trying to fix it for half of my goddamn life. Well, yeah, then you do a shitty job.
Helping Kylie with a situation that was, again, very traumatic to her. Once again, I understand.
No one likes to think of themselves as bad person, which, in some cases, can lead to us failing to evaluate the effect of our actions when we become too focused on our intent or over our impact. Feghost failed to understand this.
And that mental health struggles can push you to do some questionable things. I literally gave them the
Just making sure stuff with IC and don't spread. Yeah. Why am I never able to do anything? Oh, shut up. Cry me a goddamn river. I have done virtually nothing but yell at my girlfriend tonight. Why do you yell at your girlfriend? Sorry, man. What a great way to spend the night. And I can tell people don't like me. It's fine. It's not that. I thought this was fake because I was confused by the voice because I don't remember them sounding like that. Yeah, they don't sound like that. This is Chuulis talking about Feghost and talking about why they need to leave.
Suicide hotline because they were freaking me out like this when...
So that, what could it be? I wasn't thought of or anything like that because it turns out I get forgot about a lot, so I'm used to it. You aren't forgotten. Literally the main character. I'm sure of it. We're just dealing with the situation right now and it's working with what people we have currently. I'm literally just there with IC because she felt like I was a good moderator. She's taking me with her to the people involved so we can just handle the situation quickly. We're not forgetting you, dude. IC's just been going through this stuff all afternoon and I was talking to her about it. I was going to do something about it until blocked me. So yeet. Ha ha ha. He unblocked you.
Reminder, I was only 16 years old and knew that...
Oh. He unblocked you. Another night wasted doing nothing. Haha. Yes, yes. Maybe be productive. I don't know what to tell you. It's nothing personal with you. Okay. Cool. I know you don't mean that. Yes, yes. Please don't do anything irrational. Gaga. Great conversation. Here's the CSPS number. Here's the suicide hotline. Don't know what to tell you.
They needed someone to talk to that wasn't a fucking minor on the internet. But as you'll see, it gets worse. Unfortunately, all of my advice seemingly fell on deaf ears because when Feghost asked,
I miss you, like a lot. I don't know what happened. Hey, sorry, I've just been thinking a lot and taking time for myself to think. It's alright. I've just been thinking about a lot that happened these past few months. I'm not really comfortable talking to you due to things that have happened. What's wrong?
Why Kylie had been so distant, Kylie basically said that they didn't feel comfortable talking with them after all the trouble they were causing, especially with the guilt tripping.
The stuff that happened with Dulu. When I told you I didn't appreciate the guilt tripping after I was trying to fix a situation, you weren't around, wanting to be involved in things when I said not to.
Over not being allowed to help, which was honestly becoming a pattern at this point. And instead of respecting that decision and just apologizing, in response to Kylie simply saying they were uncomfortable with the manipulation, Feghost went on a diatribe.
Oh my god. Of course, giant text. Let me take a sip. Honestly, I never wanted to guilt trip you in any kind of way. But that point in time, I was actually solely focused on giving you the help you needed to go in there and help in a way I could because I genuinely want the best for you. Mama knows best. I had a few bumps after a couple of weeks, both IRL and online, and from that point on my mental health took a blow. Not a big one, but big enough to make a dent in my whole psyche. I don't know if I'm guilt-tripping you now by saying this, absolutely, but really wanna make sure I'm not guilt-trippy by saying any of this. If you just say, hey, if you just put on your whole thing, and then you say, I'm not guilt-tripping, by the way, doesn't mean you're not guilt-tripping. Hate to tell ya. But I genuinely did wish the best for you. I was so against the idea of being left out because I wanted to be there every step of the way. But seeing you favor Dulu over me and not being there really crushed me. How dare you ask someone else for help? I thought we were friends. You cheated on me. I slipped down way too far with that whole defending a meme kind of thing. And while the contents of that argument don't matter to me in the slightest anymore, what happened because of it really drove me to despise what happened. I genuinely didn't want to bring up my state of being, but ever since the whole shitstorm happened, I've really been off the rails. I haven't done anything to help myself because I've been thinking over and over about if I'm guilt-tripping people or not by talking to them about my stuff or whatever I'm doing. My brother, my sister from another mother, if you need to think that much about if you're actually guilt-tripping, then you have a problem. I'm forcing myself to be apathetic and not cause a shitstir, even though I'm still mad, upset, or sad, or anything. I genuinely did not know what I was guilt-tripping you in that time frame. That entire time, I just wanted to be there throughout all of it, and that was it. But now, the outcome doesn't matter to me as much. Wow, you cheated on me. Did you never have a best friend, and then suddenly they have another friend, and they do things without you? Crazy, right? I'm disinterested in a lot of things because of this mindset I kind of forced onto myself. I want to see this whole thing through and try to bring things around, but considering it's been months and I still can't bring anyone around to even agreeing with me on this, I just want to say sorry. After this whole text, it doesn't feel like you're sorry. I'm trying really hard not to be guilt-trippy, but even now, as I'm saying all this, I know how it can come off as guilt-tripping, but I'm totally not guilt-tripping. I swear I would never guilt-trip. I genuinely don't know how I can word any of this without it coming off as feel bad for me, please. But that's not what I want you to do. This whole text is just feel bad about me because I wasn't involved. You cheating on her chat with other spurks. I have the evidence in the doc. No, you don't. I know I messed up with things and expressed most of that to Dulu, but I'm not gonna get anywhere if everyone's still going to be mad and upset at me for this long. Guys, she just wanted to be involved. They expect nudes too in many cases. Bruh. How dare you not send me your nudes? I'm depressed. It's my birthday. I will kill myself. This is literally just a whole text of lot or nothing aside from how dare you ask someone else to be a mediator in your drama when you have me, the most rational person around.
Tried about how they didn't want to guilt trip her. In between guilt tripping, Feghost decided that Kylie was playing favorites and talked about how crushed they felt.
How dare you have a favorite friend? Just friends, I'm having a bad day, send titty pics. Bro, my homie sends nudes and I'm beating their ass.
The Kylie choose me over him, as if we weren't just trying to get through a stressful situation that they were actively inhibiting the resolution of. And worst of all,
honestly, it's such a yap from Feghost. It is. It really is. Like I said, it's just a whole lot of, oh, I'm not guilt-tripping. I'm not guilt-tripping. By the way, I'm doing really bad. You choose another friend over me and I was really sad. Might kill myself. Haha. But I'm not guilt-tripping.
right after saying for the millionth time that they aren't trying to bait forgiveness by trying to make her feel bad for them, they immediately say that they're not going to grow or get better if the people they affected aren't going.
Oh. Wait, is this another one? No, this is one takes me. I know I messed up with things, and I expressed most of that to Dulu, but I'm not gonna get anywhere if everyone is still mad and upset with me for this long. Oh yeah, if you're still mad at me, I won't get better anytime.
Going to stop being mad at them for what they did, which is S-tier guilt tripping, and honestly makes everything they said about not trying to guilt trip completely void. Like, stop. Let me just pause to say this. You are never responsible for another person's growth or well-being, and putting the responsibility of that on another person in order to get forgiveness for the hurt you caused is blatant manipulation. And
oh yeah.
I wish that I
hello, Lyle! I'm summoning the ghosts of the past.
Understood this back when Feghost started perpetuating this idea back when I was just 16, because I fell for it. If someone tries to guilt compassion from you, they're not being genuine, run. From this...
Yes, you make an appearance later on! We also will go over the call. Why? Because it's funny.
Hope you can see how you learn very quickly that dealing with Feghost, even when you're being as calm and as nice as possible, is extremely difficult. Not if you're letting them have their way, but if you reinforce any boundary or
many such cases. If you reinforce a boundary, you just want other friends. This is a ghost that belongs in hell. Straight up down there.
confront them about any harm they've done in any way, it's never an easy situation. This is kind of where this particular series of events ends, but I want you to keep in mind a lot of the behavior displayed by Feghost as we're moving forward. So,
the Feghost of ACC Past. Yes, exactly that.
now comes the time when I have to talk about what made everything a lot worse and get into a story that's extremely dark. And honestly, looking back, it still doesn't even feel real. I'm gonna try and tell—
Knowing Avi sabotaged the call, I am very angry about it now. Well, they did. Wait, this implies there's Feghost of ACC present and ACC yet to come. Lio, who is the ghost of ACC's future? Who is the ghost of ACC yet to come? Lio is the ghost of ACC present.
Tell this as matter-of-factly as possible, just so I can get through it. So I'm sorry if I sound emotionless while going through things. So back in mid-2019, a random Twitter profile appeared accusing Feghost of multiple crimes, including—
You have Feghost's response to the first video? I only have the follow-up from Chuulis where they talk about how Feghost lied. I couldn't find the one that Feghost did himself. Herself. Fuck! Another $1 for the misgender jar. I am the ghost of ACC yet to come. It was not good. Lio, do you have by any chance Feghost's response video? That would be crazy. Who's the present ponder? Need to figure out all the ghosts of the ACC.
sending illicit pictures to minor under the age of consent, being sexual with their ex, who I'm not going to name here, there's no reason.
God. Another wall of text. I'm an old woman, don't scroll so fast.
Kyle appeared accusing Feghost of multiple crimes, including sending—
In high school, Feg and Jay had a good friendship, but that changed after a house party where Feghost pressured Jay and her friend to do sexual acts after he locked the door to a bedroom in the house. The friend of Jay took her own life later in 2015. Suddenly, Jay lost contact. Present in Mali. Okay, that's fair. With Feghost, he didn't seem too distressed about it the next time she talked to him.
Illicit pictures to minor under the age of consent, being
Another user came forward to us about their encounter with Feghost on Kik, a messaging app. He proceeded to solicit the user for nudes, despite them telling Feghost they were 15. He then sent them a dick pic, and he was blocked.
Sexual with their ex, who I'm not going to name here.
The list he's referring to is apparently a list of his contact information on a private Discord server, where he holds contests for artists. We don't know of any other victims from this server, but please, if you've been preyed on by Feghost, please come forward.
There's no reason to. While she was under the age of consent.
The last victim we know of is supposedly in a relationship with him. And from an inside trusted source, we discovered he's been grooming this victim since they were 15. Feghost was 19. Feghost has been grooming this person for 3 years.
And sexually assaulting 2 girls and
They have been explicit in chats, and he has sent her explicit pictures while she was underage.
bedroom. It tagged quite a few people, so Kylie B, otherwise known as Pounder Sprocket, and I decided to look into things and reach out to
Pretty little schemers. Here, we can discuss, since Kylie and I have been doing that for a minute. Right as I DM her. XD.
Feghost to see exactly what was happening. After a bit of looking into things, we recognized the dog.
Basically, I'm worried that someone is in Feg's Discord. If they are going to see us chatting, and they're going to know we're onto them. How old is Feg anyways? He's 21. He's talking about things in FC, if that's okay. Why are people so weird? Because reasons. Okay, so probably on the internet for way too early, way too long. Okay, so I told him to make a new temporary account and add me, and I'll verify it's him. Just hope he does it. And I screenshotted everything he said in FC. So if you want to delete it, you can. Alright, yes. He says he can do it.
Dog showed screenshots of Feghost conversation with their ex from the perspective of their Discord account, which led us to realize that
when you're in class, can you listen? Unfortunately not right now. I'll give you the rundown in DMs. It's lecture day in AP Calc. Okay, Fortnite dance. Holy.
that they'd been hacked. Some of you may remember in 2019 there was
The power of Donkey Kong compels you. Hello all, Discord update for whoever my mutuals are. You know who you are. My old Discord account has been deleted because of a very tense and very stressful situation that's on its way to being resolved. For whoever wants to add me, my new account is Feghost. Thanks to Empty Bookie, Wambu Chuchu, and Icy Hazard for helping me deal with this.
Which prompted Feghost to have to create a new Discord profile. This was that situation. After getting Feghost's new account...
Oh no! Dulu added Feghost. Alright, here's his new account. Hi!
into the group, we eventually found out that someone that Feghost used to know in real life, who we'll call Jay, had broken into their house and took an old phone of theirs in order to get access to their accounts and fabricate evidence of then sending porn to a minor under the age of consent.
Of course. As one does.
Because the messages came literally right before the exposed doc was made and were, again, taken from Feghost's perspective. Jay was not the story's account, however. That person was just an accomplice who was helping in the effort to ruin their reputation. By the end of one of the days,
because you've committed libel and allegedly broke into his house to get his old phone that she used to hack into his accounts and fake child grooming scenes. Yeah, she used his phone, but she got permission from his other friend. His other friend isn't the owner of the house or the phone. Has no authority. You just admitted to me that, committed burglary.
Early on, I had actually gotten into DMs with the story's account, in which they literally ratted out on themselves and...
They get not permission to fake scenarios in order to publicly frame him for being a child predator. He shouldn't have left his phone at home then. You shouldn't have admitted to both of you are guilty of crimes.
Jay for breaking the law, and both fabricating evidence as well as stealing their phone. Things quieted down publicly after that specific night, but the situation actually continued through November of that year. Prior to November, though, Jay
woke up to this. Good news! They found Jessica cooped up in a homeless shelter last night.
ran away from their
Also an email from the police, but it has my personal info in it.
home and was put under a missing persons report, and they were found later, arrested for burglary.
She has then been charged with breaking and entering and burglary. I'm a happy man today.
But before she really served any time in jail, we found out that she actually
I just caught Vincent, killed herself. Wow. I don't know what to say. Yeah, like, holy shit. What? I don't know. I feel like jumping out of a fucking window. Definitely do not. I love they just learned that someone killed themselves. Apparently. And Feghost first replies, I don't know. I feel like jumping out of a fucking window.
actually committed suicide, and none of us knew how to process that. At that point, all of us just stopped talking about the situation entirely because, like, what was there even to say at that point? However, in November, another...
Hey guys, update. Yeah? I also have Feghost personal info. Of course you have. God damn it. Those people really don't know how to keep their information private, do they? So one of the accomplices and back with other things trying to take down Feg. I'm gone over it. Based on the wording, it looks like someone was close to Jay. Feg thinks it might have been... Yes, but I'm not handing it out without clearance. That's good, as you should. We're all about keeping information private. I don't even want to know the information of most of these people.
Individual who was a friend of Feghost and Jay came forward with a paste bin that was basically...
Oh man, I'm not home. Post notes in chat, please.
just a list of testimonies about various wrongdoings that Feghost had allegedly committed, and nothing else happened after that. However, something that is absolutely crucial to why I no longer talk to Feghost and want to make this video is that there's no easy way to say this next part. As I said, another allegation made in the doc, as well as the paceman later on, was one of Jay alleging that Feghost...
Dude, that reminds me of this one time we were at a house party and oh god, no. Okay, so we were at the house party for a friend, going away on vacay for like a month, right? Yeah. And then he got me and to follow him up the stairs, and we were like, what the fuck? Okay, haha. Cause we were drunk and stuff, you know? And then after we get into the room, he goes, pretty cool if I flashed you both right now. And he fucking dropped his pants and showed us his dick, which was super fucking disgusting. He has like one of those shrivel dicks. Super gross. And was like, nope, I'm getting out of here. But he locked the door on us. We just laughed uncomfortably for like 20 minutes. As he like felt me up. I've never been more disgusted in my life than at that moment.
Feghost sexually assaulted her while making another girl, who we'll call A, watch after...
Sooner or later, everyone's info will be out there. All it'll take for someone, for one's politician to properly be cyberbullied and they make it law. Lie or no? Thank you for the meme. Fishy. Say no to Feghosts. I do not smoke the ghosts, I swear. I only smoke the berry.
They're trapping them both in a room with them. A was said to...
May I help you? Yes. Hello. Hi. Where's Liam? Could ask the same for you. Beginning a conversation B had with Ram and Jay to prove this account was real.
To have later committed suicide, and the paceman stipulated
sexual abuse. Liam has a problem with getting high or drunk around his friends. This should have been a red flag when me and a couple of friends started inviting him to parties and social gatherings. Yes, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more pain. Say no to Feghost. At first he was the fun type of drunk who gave fucks and was fairly chill, but over time he became increasingly sexual towards girls and sometimes guys. We didn't take too much notice because he hadn't done anything over the line and we let him continue. This was a mistake because by the time of summer 2015 rolled around, he locked himself in a room with 2 trans girls at a party and proceeded to touch them both sexually. According to their testimonials, he said he found the idea of a girl having a dick hot and fondled one of them while making the other watch. This obviously traumatized both of them, and he told them both to stay quiet about that night and not to tell anyone about it, or he would have to do something. Please don't say it strongly. The way you say liam sounds very close to how you say liam. Excuse me. God damn it. Now even Lio comes in here and mocks me for my accent. They were both trapped and not telling anyone until later in 2016 when one girl, let's call her A, took her own life and told about the accuse that took place that night in her suicide note. Her parents tried to sue Liam because there wasn't any direct correlation between him and A's suicide. The authorities let him go. He went silent after the lawsuit, and we presumed he was getting treatment for his behavior.
Speculates that Feghost was mentioned in the note, or at the very least the abuse was. Some may think that seems implausible because they think justice would have come of it, but I believe that's an ignorant view to take on the matter, as the sentencing rate for silence is extremely low in both the US and
Liam. No, it's Liam. Otherwise it would be written Liam.
And in Canada, where Feghost is from. Made even worse.
Listen, it's not my fault that Americans say names weirdly.
The fact that the victims, J and A, were said to have been trans women who the law is already incredibly unkind to. And I brought this up to them to ask to clarify if this was just another lie or if they could expand upon what was being talked about, and I'll never forget how they responded in the call because to this day it sends such a chill up my spine. Feghost said, "I was hoping you guys wouldn't ask about that," and admitted to...
Oh no, alright, here's his new account. Hi. Basically, Fag, there are screenshots of your convos with Wally from your perspective.
Being drunk and not only locking both girls in the room with them and groping Jay, who was drunk and couldn't...
No, I mean, it's like notes from the call, what you guys discuss. Like any points or updates? Ponder answers, I've discussed what's in the paste bin with Fag. With regards to the interaction between Fag, J and A, Fag and J were drunk. A was not, and Fag states that there was groping involved. A confronted him about it the next night. Fag does admit to trying to get both girls to be quiet about it. This happened 2015, last year of high school. What about the death threats and cheating?
Consent, while the other girl was sober and had to sit and watch, but they also admitted to keeping both girls silent on the matter. Feghost also admitted the acts at a later date when the other individual came forward with the situation in the form of the paste bin. The assault happened in
It's not about your Baroness accent, it's about the fact that I didn't do the freak behavior this creep did and don't want anyone confusing it. I will make sure to watch to say no name that sounds that could sound similar to your name, Mr. Lio Convoy.
2015, which, mind you, is when Feghost became
the bad Lio, not the good Lio. The bad Liam, not the good Leo.
Legal adult. Both the Google Doc and the paste bin contain half-truths, like mentioning that Jay killed herself but not mentioning that she was in jail at the time with no contact to anyone. And the doc, as far as I'm aware, does straight up lie with fabricated evidence of...
If you shorten the name, it's just a slur. God damn it.
A fake offense regarding sending illicit photos to a child. But the fact of the matter is that Feghost admitted to the assault and trying to keep both girls quiet about what they did. They're a sex offender who clearly permanently altered these girls' lives for the worst. And this is something that Feghost has tried to keep me silent on ever since.
Hey, have you told anyone else about the thing that I told you? You guys I told you guys a while ago? Question mark. You know, the thing involving a drunk me in a bedroom. That's a fun way to say, yeah, when I sexually assaulted... when I said I sexually assaulted two girls, you know? No. Okay, just want to make sure.
Both in VCs and in tech.
Do stop saying the F slur, you've summoned me already. I got the pass! Speaking of G.I. Joe, there's a laser tag arcade opening half an hour from me that themed after the franchise. Hell yeah. I'm coming over.
Which, mind you, isn't a trend that started because of this. This is something that Feghost has done to me as far back as early 2019. Whenever we would have an altercation or anything, if I was in a shared space on Discord, like in a server or anything, they would find where I was and join, staying completely silent just to make sure I wasn't saying anything. And
yeah, gotta keep an eye on your friend, you know? Keep your... what is it saying? Keep your enemies close, your friends even closer? No, your friends close, your enemies even closer.
Better yet, after I dropped them and started warning some of my friends, I found out that they also did this.
Especially because in 2019, I and a couple of others found out he did something really bad in his past, because of some crazy situation happening in his life that we need to help him with. And then he actively checked in to make sure I was keeping silent on it for years. He did that to me once too, bruh. But not really to that extent. What was it? But I remember, like, way back then, when I joined some calls on Ponder server, he would immediately join and say nothing, and asked if I talk about anything he said, and he would stay the entire time I was there. But I feel that that only happened once or twice. Was it related to bullying? No, it was worse.
To another person who was even younger than me, back when they...
What is this? More pain, Gerald. More pain. I'm digging out more corpses. And punch them once more. This is about Feghost. Another one who was involved with the ACC, mentioned in the FCK drama. For a moment, just for talking to Kumu, and then being later like, yeah, I regret talking to you, you suck. And so I found this funny little rabbit hole here.
They were a minor, and the fact that they listed the exact type of behavior that I experienced without me even telling them that was something Feghost did freaked me out. As far as this situation in particular goes, nothing really came of it, and I'll get into why later, but for now we need to move on to a situation that really showed how things got worse.
Why are you still why were you even still friends with him? $1 for the misgender jar. Listen, it's still here, okay?
After this, going to fast forward to a pretty egregious series of events that took place early this year just to keep things moving and kind of relevant to what we just talked about. Some of you may remember a big situation kicking off in the beginning of the year involving Call Me Carson, Stay With Me, in which
oh no, not Call Me Carson.
With a minor, which getting nudes from a minor is illegal. I bring this up because Feghost was projecting their previous relationship in which their partner was a minor when they started dating, and was basically going crazy thinking that the two situations were one and the same. So that honestly made me really wary. It was...
oh yeah, listen, it's exactly the same, you don't know.
So around this point that I really started to question Feghost's past and how it made me feel, as I'd grown up a lot and became a legal adult myself, and had also been sexually harassed by guys online while I was a minor still, actually. It's not as uncommon as we'd like to think it is, especially for more femme presenting people like myself, so it had me thinking, but I wasn't sure how to go about taking action on any of my feelings, and I didn't want to confront Feghost in a time when they were so mentally unwell. I did, however...
Wonder how Feg is doing. Video premiered today, and Feg was being super weird in Chattelmau. Not great, he was having a panic attack the whole time. I think he was already on edge because of the Call Me Carson shit. He was fully convinced he was a bad person. I think the only way he'd be a bad person if sent him nudes when she was a minor. I don't know if she did, I didn't ask. Oh, alright.
Confide in Kylie about my feelings while we talked
I
about
hope
the
she didn't.
Since she was the only other person
yeah, cause that would be bad.
Who knew
really bad.
Exactly what had happened that I could talk.
I'll be really mad if that turns out to be the case, since we specifically asked him to if that happened doing the stuff with her, and he said no.
talked to on the daily. Fast forward another month and Feghost irresponsibly made...
Okay, but how is she supposed to pronounce her name? I said it out loud and got weird looks at the store. Don't say the name in the store.
what at the time appeared to be a suicide tweet. Having his phone number, Kylie was able to reach them and get them to clear up what had happened. I'll have their explanation up on the screen right now.
Oh god. Come on, come on, give it to me, give it to me. So, to explain my headspace from last night, I got really frustrated at work and had a massive headache. To note, I'm not suicidal in any way. I've only ever been in that state once in my life before, so I asked about painkillers and they gave me a bottle of ibuprofen type stuff. I took a handful and took him. And instantly regretted it, cause I realized that was way too much. Instead of 2 or 3, I think I took 10? I can't remember. And the next thing that happened was kind of foggy. I remember going back to my workstation and losing consciousness about. How are you too stupid to take ibuprofen?
And I'll have their explanation up on the screen right now.
10 to 15 minutes later, I made a tweet, meaning to be funny in an ironic sense, like, oh boy, here I go, taking a bunch of pills, I hate my life, kind of thing, but now that I look back on it, really low IQ move here. You think? I'm alright now, some stomach problems, but I will be alright, thank you. I hope you had diarrhea for weeks.
Now, they were understandably upset with the panic caused.
To anyone who reached out, I know you're all concerned for my safety and I really appreciate it once again. I'm really sorry that it came off as me trying to make an attempt. I wouldn't be on Twitter if it was in that state. I'm sorry to everyone who was worried. Very funny. Very funny. For someone who was always like, oh, I want to kill myself.
And I basically just said, yeah, I understand that.
Understandable. I've distanced since he had that breakdown about being a groomer because I'm sus he got nudes from her when she was 17. Yeah, I still don't know about that. Honestly, I just avoided it. Probably shouldn't have.
I've been keeping my distance, which, as you know, we had discussed prior. This time, however, Kylie decided to confront Fig.
Yes, you can move the captions. See? I'm probably big stupid right now. No, you're not. It's okay. Shh. I just don't feel comfortable with him. Low-key want to just come clean with him. I don't blame you, honestly. I'd say for it when he's more awake and stable, because knowing him, it's gonna be a roller coaster. Pops! I just gonna see how things go tomorrow if it's okay. Commentary: hell has to bait rapists. No.
Feghost about the situation herself, which is something I also wanted to do once I had the time. I bet we can all see where this is going. Kylie confronted them and...
I do want to be more honest about things. There's things I would like to ask, but I don't want to put you on the spot if you're uncomfortable. Alright, sure, go ahead. If you want me to stop, just tell me and I will. It's regarding when you were dating her. You probably can see where this is going. Yeah, what about it? Did anything sexually happen between the two of you before she was 18? No, why? It was just something eating away at me and I avoided it until last night when I was spiraling. I'm not trying to cause anything, I just remember a lot of shit when you were going through hell and I just needed an answer so I wouldn't feel guilty.
Asked if they had done anything sexual with their ex while she was a minor, and Feghost straight up lied and said no, which we have evidence to prove against.
Oh. Well, I'm pretty sure he's lying about not doing anything sexual with her before she was 18, because I remember him saying during November that knows it's not November, but she's being such a temptress. Fuck. Oh my fucking god, I forgot about this. What is behind the spoiler?
I'm not going to show that because this isn't about her, nor was it illegal because she was the age of consent. Point is, they lied. So I already lost.
I told him I was gonna lay low, to think about things. He's worried I'm never going to talk to him again. Like, I don't know what to fucking do at this point. At this point, you don't fucking care about how he feels. Did he say that to you? Basically, yeah. I deal with this later.
Lost trust from Feghost because of that, but decided I would deal with everything when I got home from an out-of-state vacation I was on. However,
Yes, Q, what is it? What do you want? Do I have an idea for you? What is it, Q? I don't know if I'm looking forward to hear.
I didn't get the chance to do that, even though Kylie told them.
Alright, do you trust me? I do. I'm just trying to think this through. Like, I don't know what I should say to you. It's a lot of process. I'm still trying to process it myself. Commentary hell tier list. Lol tier list. Okay, that actually sounds funny. Okay. Your Q is cooking. Okay. I put it on my list. I'm still trying to process it myself. I'm probably gonna delete this next message, but gotta say real fast, I won't lie to you. Dulo has been sus of you, thinking you got nudes from her when she was 17 is what made me spiral, thinking I avoided talking to you about this. I know, they've been sus of me. Like, I'm scared bringing that up. I'm scared to talk to both of you about this. I don't really care that much, to be honest. I don't care that you think I got nudes of a minor. If they plan on releasing this info, if they plan to doing anything with it, it's their prerogative. If she wanted to talk to you about this, you'd be fine with that? Yeah, sure. Cause when we talked, she implied she wanted to. I'm cleaning right now, but I will be online later, if they want to discuss. Hi, Len! I haven't seen a good tier list stream in ages. Listen, it will come.
Them about my suspicions when I had the time, to which Feghost told Kylie that they knew I was wary of them, which, yeah, we know.
Yeah, this is the one where they were like, hey, didn't tell anyone about me!
So literally the night I got home, before I even had the chance to come out and lay exactly what my concerns were to them, Feghost decided to take it upon themselves to...
Hey. Oh no, the market player profile picture. Hey, so I don't know that Icy talked to me about. And the whole thing, and I do also know that you were the one that brought it up. I just wanna clear the air and make sure I'm not in imminent shitville because of one reason or another. I know the screenshots you got were the ones from a while ago when you guys were helping me out with the whole situation, which I appreciate. But what I don't appreciate, however, is the suddenness of this being brought back up, for primarily two reasons. I cannot, for the life of me, remember if she sent me CP, and I know for certain that the past few times I asked, she always said no, she hasn't. Hey babe, you ever sent me CP? Hi Blue Yokai! Sorry, making a silly meme, what did I miss? Summoning the ghosts from hell. Second, this seems like a not normal thing to occur out of Icy's venting, out of her justified frustrations. While I get why she was mad, I know she was justified in being mad. I don't, however, understand why you would pick that kind of moment to bring this up, like it's a very underhanded thing to do. Stop fucking messaging me. You literally know nothing about what her and I have been talking about, my thought process or my life situation right now. Don't come at me. I'm not coming at you. I literally just want to know what spurred this on. Maybe don't call me underhanded if you don't know then. The reason I said underhanded is because I thought this was already resolved. Where we left it last time, we talked about it. And no, it's brought to me like it's a pattern or it's an issue now versus back then. I'm sorry, I'm just confused and surprised. I don't want to talk to you right now. I literally just got home from vacation. Don't spare me with shit. I'm not replying and make comments like that. Stop messaging me like I'm already asked you to.
Messaged me both while I was asleep and when I had just woken up the next morning about how they didn't appreciate me being concerned about their past and how it was shrewd and underhanded of me to confide.
Okay, Feg is currently asking for CP. No!
Kylie with that during a moment of frustration with her. So it's again with this pattern of thinking that there's some weird battle between us for Kylie, as though I'm trying to get her to choose one or the other by putting a wrench in their friendship. And before you say that this isn't enough for me to come to that conclusion, this was something that they continue.
Oh my fucking god, he keeps insisting it's not normal that you brought it up. God. I want to fucking die. I've been talking in circles 20 minutes.
To perpetuate in the following month.
He just kept saying over and over that he thought it was not normal for you to bring up the possibility that he had CP when I was venting. Like he couldn't relent on that. Wasn't until I got to click in his mind that he was getting reminded of what happened with and then poof, things started making sense to him. Maybe ask next time instead of coming at me, dumbass. Kept telling him that same answer of how am I supposed to respond to that, and it's not normal thing to bring up. By asking you fuck. Sorry. It's fine. It's infuriating. He seemed to have it in his mind that there was some ulterior motive. After saying over and over there wasn't.
But they refused to drop it to Kylie. Feghost. She's allowed to have friends. And better yet, she's allowed to have...
Is this how you get a wrench in here? Yes.
friends who don't vibe with you. I just had chosen to discuss with her how I was feeling because you had been making sure I wasn't telling anyone about your past. Although I'm sure you would have rather me just forgotten about it entirely and never...
Yeah, I'm sorry if I find out a friend of mine is someone who admitted to sexually assaulting someone and then being like, yeah, but don't tell anyone. I'll be like, fuck right off. Blocked.
Brought it up again or think about it in any way that brings consequences to you, right? I know my response here seems aggressive and I seem...
No, this isn't aggressive. This is how it should be.
Angry, and that's because I was frustrated because I already couldn't deal with confronting Feghost about anything, even if I was incredible.
This is them angry and frustrated? Honey. Honey, no. Honey. Baby. No.
Incredibly calm without some shit happening, and it's like now I can't even find the time to confront them without them spamming my DMs and ascribing intent to me first. You'll see I had to reinforce the fact that I was not open to conversation at that moment because I specifically sent this to them to stop.
Oh.
Because they just kept typing. They obliged, but if we've learned anything from their 2019 antics, who do they go to when I reinforce boundaries with them? Kylie. And holy shit, she got the absolute brunt of it. For the following...
If a friend of mine tells me about them as saying someone they aren't a friend and can expect house visit from the police directly after, just saying. Yeah. But he was already with the police or something, so, no. At this point, nothing you can do about it, but I sure as hell don't want to speak to this person anymore.
Month, Feghost was essentially in full manipulation mode. They were pissed that I was...
Why are you still talking to Feghost? If shit goes south, I'm just done. And yeah, when he gets pissed off, it just goes bad. Like me asking him about if anything happened between him and her escalated to him getting mad and questioning why I was even asking in the first place. See, that makes me hella sus. The fact that he gets super mad about even being questioned, like, dude, your dad has went to a psych ward over it. I think we have the right to hold your suspicions. Plus, like, you brought it up immediately, unlike me. So he wants to be mad we didn't come to him, but mad that you did, like, pick a lane. Believe me, I was shocked. Like, he went from being his normal voice to just way more aggressive, like, oh, you're over NVC? Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah. I just told him about the screenshots you sent and how we thought he lied, and then it just shifted. I told him I was concerned, and if things turned out to be true, I would want to know, and it's just why? I knew he was confused as to why it was brought up. I didn't expect him to message you thinking you were trying to keep me away from him, because I made damn clear you wouldn't do that, but I guess here we are.
Refusing to talk to them about my suspicions after the way they came at me upset me. And it's here that we can see a lot of the same behaviors that they showed in 2019. There was a lot of pressure on Kylie from Feghost to stay, as not only did Feghost...
I really don't know at this point. He vented to me about his whole situation, basically thinking he was going to be exposed and it'll happen any day at this point. I don't really know what to tell him, so I just went quiet and started getting paranoid myself, thinking, shit, what if people went after me since I'm so close to him? Exposed for what exactly? Not sure, I'm guessing just things involving, considering he tried messaging you to talk. I'm assuming that it's that thing we talked about. Of course, not my fault he ruined his chances like that. Shrugs. He just got depressed and anxious today because of it. That's my conclusion. I think he read through me because he was asking me and Karl if I was mad at him, or if I was driving himself away from me. I just shrugged it off and told him I was fine. Ugh. Maybe don't be weird to your friends. You don't know what to tell you.
Immediately expressed fear that Kylie was going to leave them.
Okay, Feghost again. Okay, I feel like you're not gonna want to talk to me anymore after this. I'm surprised they even still talk to you. I do still want to talk to you because of how close we are. I just need to think about this. Yeah, I'm gonna be more honest from now on. I'm not here to make enemies. I just want everyone to be fine. Right, I'm just trying to be calm, not freak out. Think about this logistically. Pray I don't lose friends over it. It's coming over, thank God, so I can ease my head just a bit. You can talk to her about it if you want. I just don't want people I can't trust knowing about this.
To which they later literally told her that she was their only friend.
Wake up. Dark. Sleep. Colorful. Wake up. I wasn't lying when I said you are like my only friend. Hugs. Thank you. Yeah. And that's what Feghost told all their friends. You're my only true friend, don't worry.
But there was a return of them complaining that when friends cut them off for being toxic or...
Yesterday was shit. I still gotta work today and tomorrow. The whole time my manager is gonna be on my ass about XYZ. I'm fucking fed up. All my life, I've been given no time to heal from anything, and there has been nothing I've been able to do about it, because I'm the aggressor, or if I raise my voice a little, I'm the problem, not whoever hurt me. I'm sick of this, always being the case where I'm trying to defend myself, where I have no other incentive than to just bury the hatchet or something. Every single month this shit happens, where I only ever gotta asked if I'm the toxic one, and 9 other times out of 10, people who were in the other friend group say, yeah, you were, and I once again can't do anything about it. Maybe stop being so toxic. All I gotta do, I gotta go to work now, but I just wanna fucking talk, because all this has been grappling my brain like a fucking parasite for weeks now. And if you don't wanna talk, fine, I just do something else. So it turns out they only need me for a little bit. You there? Yeah, busy. Good news, I'm getting vaccinated on Monday. It's a great answer. Yeah, but I ain't reading all of it. I will never understand these longest texts. I always just respond, lol, okay. Happy for you, or I ain't reading all this. Happy for you, or sorry that happened. I be typing, remove, and just respond.
Problems, they lose the ability to grow as a person. So we're back at putting the responsibility of getting better on other people, on top of everything else they were feeding Kylie, just because I wouldn't talk to them and justify my wariness. Beyond that, they insinuated that I hurt them by even...
I'm the problem, not whoever hurt me. Truly tragic, truly tragic.
Being wary or having suspicions to begin with, and that I was making assumptions and talking shit, which I did.
How else would you subscribe it? I'm not a fucking masterclass when it comes to finding the right words to describe fucking anything. Like, what the hell else am I supposed to do after finding that shit out? Like, oh yeah, I can see what's going on here. Yes, it makes perfect sense. This is not slagging me in the slightest. My first thought after someone coming to me after I talk shit about them and make assumptions, is empathize and be like, oh my bad, sorry, I assumed that about you. Not just tell them to leave me alone and ghost them for weeks and make them even more paranoid. I don't know what else to tell you. Just give me something. I'm so fucking tired of this. I want to be over and done with. But no, I can't because I made one wrong word choice. I am fucked. Sorry. Goodbye. Just imagine if you said something off to me after a scuff and I ghosted you for a week. And I gotta go to bed soon because I live in an insane asylum. Crazy. Crazy how this works. Honestly, if a friend ghosts me after a week, after a fight, I'd be like, okay.
Didn't do. They literally
Some people need their space.
When they decided they didn't want to wait to hear what my actual concerns were and continued to perpetuate them to Kylie. I don't understand how you can be out here claiming that I'm the one with ulterior motives by voicing my concerns about you to a mutual friend when you're the only one here pushing that narrative, manipulating the situation to be like I came after you for no reason and insinuate that we need
If they don't wear grippy socks, they definitely need them.
Let you, the sex offender, back in order for you to grow as a person, and how we should really be empathetic and consider how you feel when deciding to be wary about your history of sexual misconduct so that we don't hurt you. You're lucky you never served jail time for that. Hell, you're lucky you're not even on a sex
I can't believe you wouldn't empathize with the dude who said, yeah, I totally groped someone.
offender registry, which you should be. I don't understand how you can even find the gall to say you're not a manipulative person at this point. Like, I'm not manipulative, but also, God, I'm not going to get anywhere if you choose to stay mad at me because I can't do anything to get better without my friends. And also, you're my only friend. But again...
No, you need to... You don't need friends to get better. The sex offender is an insane statement. Based. Definitely based.
And I'm not manipulative. I honestly can't tell at this point if Feghost is just lying about not knowing what they're doing, or if they've actually diluted...
No one ever asked the opinion of the grippy socks. Do we know if the socks are up to the test? The grippy socks are strong. They're stronger than me.
Themselves into believing that only their intent matters when evaluating what type of person they are and how they treat others. This on top of how they can...
I see. I'm not a predator. I know for a fact I don't like doing shit with underage people, and I don't want to groom anybody or do anything with kids. Right. So I'm just trying to process this. It's very sad that you have to explain this.
Can just say they're not a predator with such confidence when they're actively trying to keep someone who knows about them being a sex offender silent and is manipulating the other person who does into feeling bad for them. Something else confusing to me is how they were both mad that I chose not to come to them about my concerns and wouldn't talk to them about it, but also...
I can't believe you wouldn't talk to me after I told you I sexually assaulted someone.
Got frustrated with Kylie for bringing up her concerns about the exact same thing. That's because I believe what Feghost really wanted is for us to not say anything at all about it ever again and go about life as if we just forgot everything. That's why the second we started reevaluating how we felt about their past as a sex offender and other possibilities
just now?
Sexual misconduct as something that we were just sweeping under the rug and ignoring, they viewed ever coming to us for help and telling...
I literally didn't say anything about Dulu keeping you away from me. Or anything. I just went to them out of sheer confusion and frustration that they brought up I may or may not have CP. And yeah, I lost my shit. Because who wouldn't after being called a pedophile for years? I'm frustrated now because I have no friends left. And the remaining people are increasingly putting me under scrutiny because of some shit I did in the past. I open up to people. They get pissed about after about a year or two of thinking about it. Then I lose said people, and then I'm the problem. And not to mention, I went to you guys because I literally had no other choice. And now I feel like, well, wasn't that a big fucking mistake? Because of how shit's turning out to be. So yeah, I'm a little upset. And that literally can't do anything about losing friends again because the reason's beyond of my control. All I'm saying is that why Dulu doesn't want to talk about it, because she was pissed you came to her saying she was being underhanded. I understand you were upset, you made it clear, when we called about it. But that's the result, there's not much that can be done. My favorite thing is that Ponder prioritized smearing me and playing up as a big bad because content is content. Her explanation for making the hit piece when she knew about Feghost. Yeah, that's how I, hello, Vakumu. That's how I got interested into Feghost, because of your video. Because they were mentioned there. And welcome.
Telling us about it as a mistake. There's no version of reality.
If you keep losing people, you might be the problem, Faggy.
In Feghost's mind that is moral or just, that involves them receiving any consequences for literally sexually assaulting 2 girls, or hell, even receiving consequences for the other awful shit they did, and I think I've made that abundantly clear by now. Some of you know that I started streaming this year, which was something that I've wanted to do since I started my channel, and I was extremely happy when I was finally able to. However, what none of you know is that I started streaming in the middle of this situation, so of course I couldn't even have—
Oh, that's of course wonderful to start streaming while you have this conflict.
Because I was using my time for myself to do something that I enjoyed instead of letting them disrespect my boundaries so I could try and justify why I was wary of a self-admitted sex offender. I couldn't even stream without—
hey, I'm home. We have internet finally. Hey, I'm in Dulu's stream right now. Well, I can't stay around for long, cause I gotta drive my mom somewhere tomorrow morning. Yeah, no worries. My mom picks me up from work. Also my mom, oh hey, let me just go over to IKEA really quick. Which is like halfway across town, by the way. You have to carry the furniture. Gee, thanks, mom. Legit though, I feel so awkward having to dance around dodging Dulu because of this shit. Like, I'm not even mad at Dulu. I'm mad I gotta stay away, be like excommunicated. Like, can I fucking talk or nah? Am I really a fucking problem? Yes. Yes, you are indeed. Well, to be honest, you went to her saying you thought she was trying to keep me away from you. That set her off. She had to deal with my other friend calling her manipulative once, so it's probably not appreciated. I get you were emotional, but shit like that can really nurture really quick.
Was going on a
Gee, why don't people want to talk to me anymore after I admitted I sexually assaulted people? Crazy how this happens.
To Kylie, who was also just trying to literally enjoy times with her friend, me, without them, about—
whoop. I literally didn't say anything. I already read that.
How unfair it was that they couldn't be there amongst 1,000 other things. Feghost, you're not entitled to my time or friendship, or Kylie's.
Yes, they are. They are the only true friends, and you cheat with other friends. How dare.
Just because you think we're responsible for you getting better. I don't understand how someone can be so gross. This type of behavior lasted for around a month, like I said, and it was just extremely tiring, especially for Kylie, who experienced the brunt of it a lot of the time. And I'll just be honest, it got to the point where, and I'm not proud of this, but I was honestly a beast if we—
I can't understand why they kept in conflict with Feghost. Yeah, same. It's like, why do you learn that your friend SH'd 2 people? Or at least he said, he admitted to it, you know. Really funny turn it will take later. But when your friend is like, yeah, I sexually assaulted 2 people, you know, I was drunk, and you're like, okay. Oh yeah, don't tell anyone about it, by the way. Feghost, that's the name I haven't heard in ages. Welcome, Bubonic Tonic. Yes, I'm currently digging out the corpses just to kick them once more, then occur their ghosts.
From straight up blackmailing them with what they were trying to keep me silent on because we were so tired. It's hard to convey just how much I hated going to bed during these times and knowing that there was a pretty good chance, especially if I dared to do anything public for myself, that I would wake up the next day and have to—
Boy, things went to shit really quick. Feghost was arguing with me last night while I was in stream with you about you ghosting him again. Bro, hello? Also, sorry, Discord mobile can eat ass for no notice. It's fine, I'm calling him now. Kill me. Why is he arguing with you?
see my friend dealing with this grown-ass man not be able to handle the consequences of their actions and have to remind her constantly.
We're doing necromancy up here. Exactly. Oh, it's okay. Sorry if I sprung this one. You without enough warning. I'm just wanna say it isn't your fault because he's a grown-ass man and decided to do this shit. Thank you. Honestly, that means a lot. I would never blame you for something like this. Yeah.
Constantly that it wasn't her fault and that she didn't have to listen to.
I want to fucking die. We've been talking in circles for 20 minutes. Kylie, you know you can just end the convo. Yes. You can tell him you're done talking about it and there's nothing he can do about it. Entirely powerless. And he's crying. That's when you tell him to jump backwards into a pit.
Them. All this because I was worried about possible sexual misconduct of a sex offender because they were projecting their past relationship onto a case of sexual misconduct, and I chose to confide in the only friend I could at the time because the sex offender had been keeping me silent the whole time. What the—
I used to be in his Discord server circa 2016, 2017. I don't remember much, but the people there were nice. He wasn't very active. Yeah, sometimes even terrible people can have a nice community.
the fuck? And obviously I wasn't going to not listen to her because A, we were and still are really close friends. They had us believing that we had no one else to turn to about any of this. Actually, that's not entirely true.
Okay, I can give them the excuse they were still really young when they talked to Feghost, like Chuulis said they were like 16 and later 18, 19, so
they allowed Kyle.
We are not kind of like sympathy for these two. Every other screenshot is them complaining about Feghost, and then the butt blocker is right there. Yeah, like I said, I think it's mostly because they are young. Okay, I feel like you're not gonna wanna talk to me anymore after this. Oh, okay, already read this one.
To talk to an IRL friend about me being sus about the nudes, as in someone who didn't have an online platform or connections with our mutuals. That's the reason I believe they let her do that. And that's why after that first day, they really started to see my wariness as a threat and started freaking out. I believe that 100%. And actually, I also did confide in a friend about everything because he was the only friend I had that didn't really have an online platform, already didn't like Feghost, and wasn't the type of person to come out and say anything. He's cool. We watched the entirety of Legend of Korra together for my first time while this was all happening.
Okay.
And it was a really nice distraction and cleanse from all the batshittery that Feghost was putting me and Kylie through. If you're watching this, friendo, I love you and thank you so much for being there during that time.
I understand why they do it, but on the other hand, I'm always like, when you talk about these people, why are you coming with your personal stuff in there? Like, come on.
You helped me feel a little less insane and in a chokehold, and also I'm sorry that I haven't gotten back to your DMs. Eventually, Kylie was able to emotionally convince them that I wasn't going to ruin their life, essentially, and thankfully from that point forward—
I think he started to realize that after I had to repeat myself over and over, but it's over now, thankfully. I blocked Feg, by the way, on everything. Oh, finally. So if he comes screaming to you about that, sorry. Yeah, no worries. Probably for the best anyway. Fuck him. I think I finally managed to get him to pinpoint what was setting off. So hopefully this shit won't happen again. Still annoying as fuck, because it's not fair to you at all. Or you. What the fuck is this? It was even his issue. He kept saying over and over that he thought it was not normal for you to bring up the possibility that he had CP when I was venting, like he couldn't relent on that. Wasn't until I got it to click in his mind he was getting reminded of what happened with and then poof, things started making sense to him. Hi Fargy, we are once again digging up the ACC corpses, summoning their ghosts to kick them one more time. This time we talk about Feghost. I got Akuma's video draw my attention to them because it was mentioned that Feghost contacted him, was on a stream with him, and then afterwards went like, yeah, I regret being on stream with you. And no one, especially Pondas, talked about Feghost, even after Feghost was like, oh yeah, by the way, I sexually assaulted 2 people. I assaulted 2 trans girls. Which has a funny twist in the end. And another liar call.
Robert, they finally dropped everything. Of course,
Remember, it was her and another girl. The other girl was sober when he SA'd her and later committed S and apparently mentioned him in the note, I think. And then committed suicide in jail. Yeah, I remember now. Sorry, I'm really fucking stupid. No, you're not. Forgetting stuff doesn't make you dumb. SAing girls makes you dumb. And a piece of shit. Right now. Pfft. Yeah, I'm gonna flip a table cause my hands are tied. I can't talk to him about this cause he'll just go after you again, which I'm not going to fucking allow. And I cannot talk to him cause he's going to get suspicious and know something is up.
First, we still had our awareness regarding what they did to the girls and how we should handle it, but we were so tired and worn down from a month of this that we just decided to stomach how we felt and leave it so that we could catch a breather. This is how I knew I wasn't crazy for being afraid about confronting Feghost about anything, because we both noticed and knew that they were a loose cannon, which is something that they even admitted to in the past. And I know we're not crazy because
You gotta keep an eye on them, they know too much.
looking back now, after cutting them off and having time to reflect without having them around or feeling any pressure to think about them in a certain way, it's exactly how they were.
We both knew that if we thought how we felt about them and their past and decided to leave them because of it, we would be forced to have to explain everything to mutuals and relive everything repeatedly. No, you can just say, I don't want to talk about it. We have our reasons. We are currently going through that right now. I seriously thank all of our mutuals who have been receptive to us during this time. Leaving a controlling, manipulative person is never easy.
There is no emotionally or mentally healthy way to confront Feghost about the things they've done or avoid them. If you try to confront them, they will lash out, shut down, say
I wonder how many terabytes of art community drama calls are there. These people record anything. Everything. Yeah.
things to manipulate you or evoke sympathy. If you try to avoid them, they will push your boundaries or try to get to you through other people. There is no easy option, and eventually you just learn to live with it and stay quiet so that you can avoid any suspicion to begin with. It's not healthy, nor is it enjoyable, because you still feel and think about the things you want to say, but when you're in a toxic relationship of any kind, whether it be platonic, romantic, familial, etc., where it can...
Yes, I know, all very good messages, but can we get, stay on topic?
Communication isn't a viable option, it does become a way to get by. So that's just what we did from that point on. I eventually did let them back into my life after about a month later with the bare minimum of apologies. Everything they had done, I just said, whatever. Because that's what happens when you get worn down.
Wait a minute, in Italian is calling in.